Hey, you guys, I'm Summer, and welcome back to my channel where we explore the ideas, strategies, and mindsets that help solopreneurs build businesses and better lives that they genuinely enjoy. This is a part of my Teach Me Something series where I invite experts to share practical lessons that challenge the way we think and help us create better results. Today's conversation is about business growth, collaboration, and manifestation. We are exploring how intention, action, and the people we surround ourselves with can work together to create the opportunities that sometimes seems most magical. And my guest today is Irina Portnova. I call her Irishka with love. She's a business mentor. She combines universal laws with practical business strategy so that she can help solopreneurs create sustainable growth. Irina believes that success doesn't come from positive thinking alone, nor does it come from endless hustle. What she'll tell you is success happens when purposeful action and the right energy work together. Business begins to feel more natural, more enjoyable, and more predictable. Today, she's going to teach us how that works. I think we should let her speak as well. Irishka, let's talk collaboration because I know it's something that you are incredibly passionate about, just like I am. Many entrepreneurs believe that they have to build everything themselves. They wear every hat, they solve every problem, and often end up so exhausted trying to grow all alone by themselves. But you teach that collaboration can actually become one of the most reliable ways to create consistent business growth, right? So
Mm-hmm.
why, in your opinion, partnering with the right people can offer so much more, become more powerful than trying to do everything on your own?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. I'm super excited that you invited me today, and I'm here with you with this beautiful space where we can deliver the value to the everybody who is listening to
Mm-hmm.
this episode. And I just wanted to say that I discovered it by myself also that when I was just grinding and doing everything on my own, that was actually a long way. And once I realized that we can do it together we are more powerful. That was such a huge shift for me in the
Mm,
business summer. And what do I mean by that, right? Because when we are coming in as business owners, we are actually holding on to that culture. I am independent. I'm going to figure out everything alone. And once we start doing our business, we forget even why we started because it becomes so stressful. It becomes so overwhelmed, like when we are wearing these multiple hats, as you mentioned, right?
mm.
Now, the question comes, why don't we just pause for a second? Because when we are constantly in our head, we sometimes do not even recognize the opportunities that are always available around us.
So
And for
true.
me, that was the biggest aha moment when I was actually seeking the solution because I knew I had a great knowledge to share with everybody. But again, it wasn't until I discovered collaborations that would
Mm,
actually start moving my business forward.
I love that because I believe that too. Collaboration is all about creating opportunities that simply wouldn't exist if everyone stayed in their own lane and minded their own business, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we
Absolutely.
believe at Connections and Fab Collabs too. By the way, thank you for being a member for the last 1 year and hope to give out a lot of value in there as well. One framework
Mm-hmm.
that you developed is your flow method.
Mm-hmm.
I
I love
imagine
that.
that it helps coaches and service-based professionals to create a more consistent flow of clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So rather than giving us just the acronym, could you walk us through the thinking behind your framework?
I love that. So we touched on collaboration, and maybe some people are wondering what exactly do they mean? What exactly is collaboration? That's
Mm,
why I created that flow method because again, we do not have to do this work alone. And F stands for find your visibility. You
uh-huh.
can't be chosen if people don't know you exist. So, one of the biggest misconceptions in business is that visibility means posting more on social media. But
Ah,
it's not really the answer. The answer is
mm,
visibility means to be intentional, where we are placing ourselves where our ideal clients are already spending their time. That
mm,
means knowing what exactly is my audience and where
mm,
are they? what kind of podcasts they are listening, what type of summits they are attending, what Facebook communities they are belonging, where are they in the networking events, where are they in the joint workshops, master classes, live interviews. That means we are leveraging somebody's audience as well as ours when we are placing ourselves to do some collaboration, meaning, okay, let's do live together. Even something that we are doing right now, this is also called collaboration, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be fancy as the podcast, because a lot of people are looking for, okay, when I have every ducks in the row, then I'll do it. It can be simple as reach out to somebody who is already in your space and
Yeah.
let's just go live together. Let's just create the topic. Again, you gotta have the similarity in your audience so you know that people are interested. And again, we do not have to have that authority because we are borrowing that authority from somebody else's audience, right? That's the beauty of it. So visibility becomes, find your visibility stands for F in the flow. And that's exactly to be more strategic where we put ourselves out and asking ourselves that question, where is my audience hanging out? Because I've heard so many times when the business owners and coaches, creators were saying, I can't find the clients. And my first thing is, are you actually showing up in the spaces where your clients are?
Yeah.
So that's what stands for F, for find your visibility, right? And again, it's not about being everywhere. It's more about being in the right place, be in the right environment. L
Yeah.
stands for lead meaningful conversations. This
Aha.
is where most people are just avoiding because they focus on followers, but I focus on conversation. And that's what I'm teaching my clients as well, because business does not grow because someone liked our post. Business
Beautiful.
grows
Yes.
because someone feels seen, someone feels understood and safe enough to start that conversation. So every meaningful conversation is an opportunity for us to build the trust, to learn what people truly looking for. We can offer the support, we can create that connection and open that future opportunities. So remember that conversation leads to currency, right? One conversation not necessarily becomes the client, but one conversation can lead us to referral. It can lead us to collaboration. It could lead us on speaking invitation, a friendship, an introduction to someone who changes our business, right? That's exactly the conversation is the deal. So this is what the L stands for, lead meaningful
Lead meaningful
conversations, right?
conversations.
Exactly, because a lot of times we are hiding by creating the programs, making a better website, but we know that without the people, there is no business.
Yeah.
O stands for open collaboration opportunities. And this
Mm.
is where business starts multiplying. Instead of trying to grow your audience alone, as I already mentioned about it, you begin growing alongside others. Collaborations allow you to borrow the trust, to share the audiences, expand your reach, create greater impact, and also open doors you couldn't possibly open by yourself. So collaboration, it's isn't just simply promoting each other. It's more how can we create something together that serves both of our communities. And again, we can do the podcasting, we can do virtual summits, challenges, workshops, guest training, live interviews, referral
So many
partnership, networking.
opportunities.
Yeah, so many different ways, right?
Ways we can
And
collaborate. Yes.
exactly. And it's all about having the willingness and come with that. Okay, it's not about what can I receive from that. It's more how we can benefit by adding the value to our audiences, right? This is the key point. And W stands for welcome clients. And
Ah, I
this
love
is,
that one.
yeah, and this is one of the tricky ones because if someone is interested, my question is, do they know what is their next step? Because maybe the invitation isn't clear. Maybe the offer isn't simple. Maybe the next step isn't obvious. So the final step of flow method is making it easy for people to continue that relationship. It means first, we do not want to. I love one of my business coaches is telling me, you can't go on the first date and ask them to marry you. And a
Never.
lot of times, this is the approach of a lot of business owners, right? They just, drop the, okay, join my webinar, or, like join my challenge. They do not take the time to ask the person what they are truly looking for, right? Because
Mhm.
not everybody we are connecting is looking for what we have. So first, it's
Absolutely.
like really building that relationship and see what exactly is something they're looking for. And then we
Mm.
can say, hey, I have something for you. And we always ask for permission. We do not just drop the links, because honestly, this is something that irritates me as well. When
My
I
pet peeve as
open
well.
my messenger and here comes another link. Like, people don't even know if this is something I'm looking for. It just,
Mhm.
the way of, and I feel that, Summer, we do not have enough of the trainings on how do we actually connect with the people in the right way, right?
I think
Because
so.
we can
Yes.
have, yeah, we can have our products, but if we do not know how to present them, if we do not know how to show how it help for people, people are
Mhm.
not going to buy us, right? So
Yep.
again, when we talk about not marrying on the first date, what do I mean by that? That means
Mm.
you connect and then you say to them, if you like my content, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We do like these breadcrumbs first, right? If you
Mm.
like my content, welcome to my free community. If you like my content, join my email list. If you like my content, here is my free resource, right? And
Mm.
step by step, it leads them to experience what we are all about. And if they like our space, then it's an easy yes for them to attend our workshop or
Mm.
webinar or whatever we are offering. And that leads them to work with us.
Mm. I love the step-by-step approach. Find your
Mhm.
visibility, lead with meaningful conversations, open collaborative opportunities, and welcome clients. A
Yay!
lot of people
Welcome,
jump into the last
clients!
one first. A lot of people jump into that first, and they think manifestation means just visualize and it'll come to you. No, but one thing that stood out to me in your philosophy is you combine manifestation with action. So some
Mhm.
people heavily lean into visualization, like I'm saying. They visualize success. What does it look like when I'm successful? But they never take meaningful action. And then they say manifestation doesn't work.
Absolutely. And I'll take further than that. Even
Mm,
when they visualize, they see a different version of themselves.
mm,
First, they have to start taking different decisions. Because
mhm,
if I'm
mhm,
still making the decisions, let's say if the opportunity came and I say I'm not ready for it, right? Or if you feel that you want to invest in your growth, right? Because again, we have to have constantly training in order for us to expand more. And then
mm,
our, current self tells us, oh, but I do not have the money, right? Again,
mm,
just start checking in your decision making to realize that maybe you visualize, but you do not take it further, one step further, right? Because you are still operating from your old identity, because the new
yes.
identity is taking another steps. They are more brave, they are more decisive. And obviously, like you mentioned, action is the missing
Mm.
link with a lot of times when we are actually growing the business.
Ouch. And people need to realize that. How do you find the balance between trusting your process and taking actual practical steps that move your business forward?
I love that, because a lot of people actually focusing more on the outcome.
Mm.
And like I always remember that movie where, like the family is traveling and the kids like, are we there yet? Are we there
Yes.
yet?
Are we
So a
there
lot
yet?
of times it also reflects in the business, because when we put our effort, remember when we
Mm,
compared to when we were working for somebody, it
mm.
was different. You put out the work and you get paid. With the business ownership, it's a completely different. It's not about the hours that we are putting it. It's about like really understanding what we are spending our hours on, right? Are these
Mhm.
meaningful things? Like the first thing would be for me before building the website or doing anything is just, okay, let me talk to people, because people bring the business, right? And this is something that a lot of people like taking the steps and then they're kind of deflating because they do not see the results, right?
Yep.
So the idea is, I love to say all the time, if there is a problem, there is always
Mm,
solution. It can't be
mm,
that the problem existed without the solution. So
mhm,
now what we have to do, we have to elevate our thinking on the level
mm.
where solution exists, because a lot of people are operating from the level of the problem and they never
Yeah.
get themselves to go upper and look like have the bird view vision of what is actually going on in my business, right? Because like I
Mm,
said, a lot of times it's like, okay, just checking off the things from the to-do list, but sometimes all we have to do is just to pause. That's why energetics is as important as taking the steps, right?
mm,
Just taking, the step, pause, and just reevaluate. If you ran, like last webinar and it didn't produce the result that you wanted to, rather
mm,
than just, getting upset, just sit down, just like debrief and ask yourself, what did go good, right? What did go
mm,
well, so
mm,
I can take it with me? What didn't go well, but something that I can change, right? Because the
mm,
improvement comes when we are paying attention and we are changing something. Because if we are running everything the same way, we are going to produce the same results. And be
yeah.
more in the curiosity rather than where is it, right? Because again, I love to compare business ownership to relationship. Imagine if somebody clinges to us, we just want to run away. So same thing happens in the business. If we are like grabbing, we want it so much, right?
And be
That we are
clingy.
just
Yeah.
desperate about it.
Hmm.
It feels like it's never arriving. But
People
when
feel
we
it.
are
Yeah.
exactly, it's all about just let me take the step and see what is the outcome of it, right? Because
Mm,
there is a movement. It's taken me somewhere. Maybe I
mm,
am not sure what exactly it's going to produce the outcome, but if I have my intention set, right, that is also super important. Like a lot of times people are running the webinars, they don't even know, set the intentions, how many, people they want to have on their webinar, how many of
mm.
them are going to have the consult, and how many of them are going to become clients, right? Again,
Yeah.
intentions are different from expectations, because intentions, it's kind of, I'm just playing with the energy and I allow the universe to unfold in the best way.
Mm,
But when we set the expectations, when expectations don't show up, we get frustrated, right? So
mm,
once we understand the importance of that difference,
mm,
everything starts flowing. So that's why staying in the process, even though something did not show up as a result, continue just exploring. Be more the scientist than the judge, because it's
yeah.
easy just, to judge ourselves and say, oh my God, start self-doubting. Is it ever going to work, right? But when
Mm,
we just bring ourselves again on that problem solution frequency, we are looking, okay, but how can I talk differently? How I can re-engage with my audience? What would I offer as the bonus? Let's say if we did the launch and it wasn't as successful as we desired and we
mm,
didn't sell as much, next
mm,
day maybe, okay, let me think what I can offer as the bonus so I can again re-invite people to purchase, right? There are so many ways, and this is exactly how we are growing, because that version of ourselves that is just, like expecting things to show up the way as we are working
mm,
has to actually be replaced with another version that is more like exploring and trust the process, knowing that every step we are taking, the
mm,
opportunities are going to unfold. Like I also speak with my clients, and a lot of times we can pour our value in one person, but that
mhm,
person never becomes our client, but client comes from a completely different direction. As long as we are staying in a game, we do not
mm.
have to know, like our monkey mind is so used to like, give me every step and, like say what exactly is going to happen when I take that
Mm,
step. But once we release that pressure and saying, I know every movement creates something for me and it
yeah.
actually puts me towards my goal, right? And the more we take the steps, we start noticing that, somebody reach out to us and say, hey, I want you to be part of this collaboration. Then,
Mm.
somebody says, oh my God, your post just, came so timely to my, like inbox, whatever it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That
So
serendipity. Yes.
exactly. So, in other words, we are training our mind, and again, it's all mindset, right? We are training
Mm,
our mind to stop focusing what's missing and start paying attention what is working. And
mm,
the more we start collecting the evidence of what is working, the more we start seeing that the universe deliver more things for us that are working.
mm-hmm. Should be open to receive. And I love how you
Absolutely.
say my favorite word again and again. And there are two words actually you said repeated several times. One is intention and one is action. I'm
Yeah.
big on setting intentions and taking the
Hmm.
right actions rather than sit under a banyan tree or whatever tree you want to and then meditate and everything will come to you. The universe will deliver. Now, I would
Hmm.
love to finish with this one. When people hear the word manifestation, that's exactly what what they think, like you need to meditate and the universe will deliver. So
Mm-hmm.
for people that still haven't got a clue after listening to us talk so much, how would you redefine manifestation for, say, a solopreneur who's serious about building successful business but also wants to enjoy the journey instead of constantly feeling like the hustle chasing the next result?
Oh,
So
I love that
how can you
question.
say it very short? Like this
Yes,
is
I
what
love
it
that
is.
question. Yes. Manifestation actually is creating something from our thoughts into our physical reality, meaning whatever thoughts we are entertaining day to day, right? They become the beliefs because whatever we hold truth is going to start coming as our belief system. And we know that we are running on this belief system. So,
Mhm.
like Ford was saying, whether you can or cannot, you are right
You are right.
because
Yes.
it's all about what you believe in, right? And again, we can always up level our beliefs as long as we have some tools to work with that. So manifestation is
Yeah.
actually understanding that with every breath that we are taking, we are creating because we are
Mm.
all made out of energy and our energy is creative energy. So with every breath, we are creating. So now we
Mm.
become more conscious that what exactly we are creating is something that I'm creating actually align with what I want, or it's just my old program that is running behind and just showing me that I'm not worthy or it's not gonna work for me or others are more successful. Because I can give you that example that I've been working with some multimillionaire coaches.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that they always tap into the success. There are launches that they are still,
Struggling with. Yes.
struggling with, right? Even though they might be using the same system, but it's that's exactly what defines a success, that we are not just start doubting ourselves and minimizing our gifts, but more like staying curious and saying, okay, what can I do different in order to produce
Mm.
different results, right? And
Mm.
manifestation meaning this is the energy practice as well as inspired action steps. So when we are in meditative state, first of all, our nervous system comes down, right? Maybe sometimes we already charge
Calms
because,
down.
oh
Yeah.
my God, I have to start generating revenue and the clients are not coming. So obviously when we are frantic, we cannot be in that creativity flow, right? That's why meditation becomes very helpful when we can just, calm our nervous system down, just bring
Mhm.
ourselves back to balance and
Mm.
realize when we are more relaxed, things start to come to us, right? The ideas start to drop. And meditation is great for, like just the ideas because ideas are the first currency from the universe. We can receive $1
Mhm.
idea, we can receive $1 million idea, right? So
Mhm.
the energetic practice is important just to set ourselves for something, but then understand that next thing, ask yourself, what can I do today from where I am with what I have in order to move my needle into the desired outcome, right? And then take action step, whether this is sending the email, whether this is creating the post, but most importantly, talk to at least a couple of humans
Mm.
every day,
Mm.
because that's exactly what's going to move your business.
That is one big lesson I'll take away because some days I just hide in my hole and I do nothing, like don't talk to anybody. I tell people that I'm peopled out, so please give me space. But I think I need to stop that. And ideas, the big takeaway, I loved hearing that sentence you said. Ideas are the first currency that the universe gives you.
Yeah.
Beautiful, really
Yep.
beautiful. So the big lesson here is manifestation is being intentional in how we think,
Mhm.
who we collaborate with, and the action that we consistently take. You are
Absolutely.
magical, and I know you constantly create magic behind the scenes while I'm not watching you or talking to you. What are you working on these days, Irishka, that people need to know?
Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I know that the interview is going to be released later, but right now I'm in my birthday launch. So I'm just given like a
Happy
beautiful.
birthday!
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow, but I'm just like so super excited. And I'm offering this a beautiful intuition bundle as well
Mm,
as with the life experience. But if
mm,
somebody wants to tune in, like as we are talking about manifestation, about business, I have this great resource. Like I said, I don't want to invite people to marry before they experience me in dating, right? So I would
mhm,
love to offer that free resource. It's called the missing. This is the quiz, missing link to your client flow. Because
mhm,
again, if we do not receive the flow of clients, that means something is missing. And that quiz in 64 seconds is going to show you what exactly is your archetype of,
Mm,
acquiring the clients, and what is one shift that you can do today so you start seeing different results. And I am monthly creating different experiences. So if you like what
mm.
I am talking about, if you like my quiz, you are always welcome to my world. And there are always new creations all the time. I'm also doing the summits, I'm doing the giveaways, and I love the collaboration. So not only you would receive the access to me, but you also receive the access to other experts who you might like more, who
Mhm,
align with you more, because again,
mhm.
we were never meant to do this alone.
Absolutely. Let's date you a little even more further. Tell us about your podcasts.
Yeah, so I have I have a couple of podcasts, but the one that I really dedicated myself, it's called You Are the Masterpiece.
You are the
So
masterpiece.
basically, I love to emphasize that we are work in progress as well as the masterpiece at the
Mhm,
same time. So if you are the business owner and if you have the message, you want to add the value to your audience, to my audience, just
mm.
reach out so I can actually invite you for the conversation.
That's beautiful. You guys, all the links to connect with Irina are in the description below. Take a look at her website, connect with her on LinkedIn. The free gift that she offered, it's right there, the missing link to getting more clients. And the podcast. If you like her podcast, ask her if you can be a guest. And
Absolutely.
what's the best place for people to connect with you, Rishka?
I am always on LinkedIn. I'm always on Facebook. And again, I have my Facebook a community. It's called Attraction Room.
Okay.
Just search and join this beautiful community and stay connected. I always have beautiful newsletters. As soon as you claim that free gift, you'll become one of the recipients of my newsletter. So you know exactly what's going on, what kind of collaborations I'm in, what
Mhm.
type of podcasts I'm having. And just, like feel free to reach out personally. I always love to make these beautiful connections. And Summer, as always, thank you for being that generous person. Thank you for always, bringing these beautiful voices and sharing it with the world.
Thank you for being here and thank you for providing so much value over this. You guys, you don't have to search for anything. Just look at the description below. The Facebook group is right in there. And if you're enjoying these Teach Me Something conversations, please like and subscribe and share this episode. Share it with another solopreneur who's ready to create more momentum with a little less overwhelm. Share it with people who think that manifestation doesn't work for me. Irishka is going to change your minds. Thank you, Irishka, once again for being here. Irina, Irishka, you guys, she's the same person. I'll see you in
Thank
the
you
next
so,
one.
so much.
I'll see you in the next one, you guys.